Hmm. A very good morning, everybody. I am CS Kajal Handewag from Nyandeep Academy, Pune. And today we are going to be seeing the Hindu analysis for 3rd October 2024. So without wasting any much time, let's start. The first topic that we will be covering today is package launched for scheme saturation in ST majority villages. UNLF cadre arrest by NIA. Then we will be talking about West Asia. Honestly, there are n number of news which are revolving around West Asia. So we will be covering all of them in just one editorial kind of a article. Then we will be talking about include persons with disabilities in ABPMJAY scheme. And last, we will be talking about the Swachh Bharat mission. So these are the 5 topics that we will be covering today. Let's start with the first one. Scheme saturation, ST majority villages. Now, what is the content? Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, on Wednesday, he launched the Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsha Abhiyan. Okay, this will be important. What is this exactly? It's a package of scheme saturation. It includes n number of schemes which provides n number of facilities where in tribal majority villages, okay, across 550 districts at an event in Jharkhand's Hazaribagh district. Jharkhand has the assembly elections very soon now, so we will be seeing many news revolving around Jharkhand. Mr. Modi ji also laid the foundation stones of a host of other projects intended to benefit the tribal people. The package originally coined, this package was originally known as PM Janjantiya Unnat Gram Abhiyan. Now this is the name. Okay, this was the previous name, this is the new name. It was cleared by Union Cabinet last month, and they will also be implementing the existing schemes in 63,000 ST majority villages. So this scheme, guys, is mainly for the areas that are dominated by tribals and especially ST districts, villages, and n number of projects like infrastructure, education. We will be seeing what all projects have been covered here. So this scheme is regarding that. And even the name also has a significance which we will be talking about in the next slide. The total amount is rupees 79,156 crore. This will be divided over 5 years, and the Union Cabinet has declared it because it is a centrally sponsored scheme. So the center share will be 56,333 and the share of the state will be 22,823 crore. And also one of the most important part of the scheme is they are going to provide rupees 5 lakh to tribal families. Why? So that they can turn their houses into a tourist destination. So this is about the news. Now let's understand the significance behind the news. So the first, as I said, the name is based on Dharti Aba. Okay, why is this name so important in Jharkhand? Because Birsa Munda, he was a tribal leader who fought against the Britishers during the late 19th century. He not only fought against the Britishers, but through his various means, he also brought out various social reforms, killing the superstitious and unnecessary rituals, unnecessary religious practices. He taught people a number of societal things. That's why he is a leader who is literally, for them, he is like God. He is like the father of the earth. He belonged to the Munda tribe, and his revolt was mainly concentrated in the Munda belt. This is the Munda belt, Khunti, Tamar, Sarwada and Bandgaon of Jharkhand. Because he knew that there are certain missionaries in the Britishers who are trying to convert the tribals into Christianity. So he started the faith of Birsat. Okay, he started a new faith. There were many members of the Munda and Oraon community. We've already spoken about Oraon and Munda community in the last week of Hindu analysis. So they started joining the Birsaid sect, and it turned into a challenge because British couldn't easily convert the tribals then. Munda also encouraged them, do not follow any colonial laws, and instead use guerrilla warfare to fight against the Britishers. They also, as I spoke about, religious superstitions was also broken by him. And again, guys, this is important. Gaurav Divas since 2021 on November 15th is celebrated in recognition of his contribution to our freedom struggle. So this is the reason why the name of that particular scheme in Jharkhand. Now we will also talk about certain packages. This package, what does it exactly do? It aims that there are existing schemes, okay, to build 20 lakh pakka homes. They have got temporary huts, temporary homes. In Marathi, we call it pathrachi ghara, okay. So they have got these temporary homes. They want to build 20 lakh pakka homes. For whom? I told you all this scheme is mainly concentrated for ST background areas. It wants to lay 25,000 kilometers of roads connecting ST majority villages. And also it wants to bring piped water to every eligible village, because access to clean, access to hygienic water is considered as a basic human right, which they are trying to fulfill here. And there is a focus on 5,000 hamlets, which has less than 20 households each. Now, what do you mean by hamlets? Hamlets are small areas which are smaller than villages. It's a group of houses. Like, let's consider there are 20 houses here which are next to each other. So this thing will be known as a hamlet. Okay, so any hamlet area of different houses, small little houses. It is smaller than a village or a town. That is a hamlet. So any hamlet with less than 20 households each is also covered under the scheme. If you observe, if you notice, via this package, they want their benefits of the scheme should reach every single person. Other components of the package: electricity, around 2.35 households. The public institutions that are unconnected, let's connect them. LPG connections, fresh air, good air, clean air. Then discrimination-free broadband connectivity. Every tribal village should have a broadband connectivity so that they get aware of what is happening around. They get aware of the developments, also the various government schemes and yojanas. This is the BharatNet project which is going on, and set up 100 multi-purpose marketing centers. So this is what is covered under the scheme. The PM also inaugurated various independent infrastructure projects under the PM Janaman package, and he inaugurated 40 new Eklavya model residential schools across the country. Again, these two very important, PM Janaman and Eklavya model schools. What are these Eklavya model schools? We are seeing in the next slide. So yes, Eklavya model residential school. Now, what do they exactly do? There are many people, and here if we talk about, we are talking about mainly and typically the ST and the extremely vulnerable tribal groups. So for them, education is something that should be given, especially on a higher level as well, because these people, they take education up to a certain extent who stay in the tribal areas, and after that it becomes difficult for them. So to eliminate these problems, Eklavya model residential school has already been started. What does it aim? Upper primary, secondary and senior secondary level education. Good education, ST and PVTG. Students in tribal dominated area. Every block with more than 50% ST population. Now, will this be provided to every single district? No, the specification is here. Every block whose population may say 50% population is ST. Okay, these blocks will be provided with this school because these people need it. And at least 20,000 private tribal persons. they will have an Eklavya model residential school. The name says residential school, so it is going to be like a hostel. Now, accordingly, the ministry has set up a target of 728 such residential schools. We also call Eklavya Model Residential School as EMRS, okay? Across the country by year 2026. Very, very important, because this is a huge vision that the government is keeping. So this is important from exam point of view. Even on July 2024, like a recent update, a total number of 708 EMRMs have already been sanctioned, out of which 405 schools are reportedly functional. They are going on. So we are already half the target through. Now, the school infrastructure, is it going to be a normal basic school? No, it is going to be a good school. That is, it will include classrooms, it will include the administrative blocks, it will include the hostels for boys, girls, the playground. It will also include the teaching accommodation for the teaching staff, the non-teaching staffs. It will include various labs, etc. These are the facilities that the students will require, and not only this, it will also include extracurricular activities other than studies. Then NESTS, NESTS. What do you mean by NESTS? National Education Society for Tribal Students. This is the full form. This has been set up. It overlooks the entire project of the Eklavya schools. Okay, now let's move on. Next, we had just seen here PM Janman. Okay, now I'm going to brief you about what is PM Janman. PM Janman. Now, again, this is a centrally sponsored scheme. Now, let me tell you guys, the scheme focuses mainly on infrastructure. Okay, so again, infrastructure for whom? The tribal area infrastructures. Obviously, because it's tribal area, it is headed by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and it focuses on main 11 factors, that is permanent housing, pakka roads, piped water supply, mobile medical units, hostels, Anganwadis for basic education, Anganwadi facilities, skill development center, etc. Even Ayush Wellness, our department, it also is providing Ayush facilities to PVTG habitants. Now, once again, what is PVTG? Particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay, they are also trying to give them skill and vocational education, vocational training, because not everybody is into academics, so they shouldn't be left out here. The skill and vocational training is also going to be provided. Now, there are how many PVTGs in India? Out of the 705 STs, 75 specifically have been identified as PVTGs, and they are spread across 17 states and 1 UT. Now, what are exactly PVTGs? They are the extremely vulnerable tribal groups that literally have zero literacy. Even the population growth rate is very low. They are unaware of the entire happenings around them. So these people, they need special attention. They need to be protected. Their culture needs to be protected. Their health needs to be improved. That is why all this has been done. Okay. Next will be the second news for today. Delhi High Court admits freshly challenging arrest of UNLF cadre by NIA. Now, what exactly happened? The Delhi High Court, the first petition was rejected, but now the second petition has been accepted. Of whom? There were 3 members of UNLF, United National Liberation Front. It is a banned outfit from Manipur. We will be talking about UNLF in the further slide, but it is regarding Manipur. Now, it is challenging their arrest by NIA. NIA has arrested 3 of their members, and UNLF is challenging the arrest, saying this challenge is not right. Okay, so these Hodgcomb Singh, self-styled army chief of UNLF, he declares himself to be the chief, and his associates, Lamonian Adan Sharma and Salam Imbomcha Meti, they were arrested on grounds. Why were they arrested? There was an investigation going on, or there are allegations on them that they were a part of conspiracy. What kind of conspiracy? A foreign-based leadership is supporting them, and a terrorist outfit is taking their support because the UNLF already has certain issues with the Indian government. So a terrorist outfit which has a foreign background, foreign base, they are taking their support and they are taking the advantage of the ethnic unrest that has been going on in Manipur. Since many days, Manipur is not at peace. There are so many ethnic conflicts, racial conflicts that have been going on with Manipur. So the foreign-based terror outfit is taking this advantage. And because of these allegations, the 3 leaders are arrested. And NIA says they are raising funds for all these activities, which is obviously wrong. They are also helping them procure weapons. This is what NIA has to say. And UNLF is against it, and UNLF says that these allegations they are not accepting the allegations, they are not okay with them. Now let's see what NIA is. NIA, it was enacted in 2008. Why in 2008? We had the Mumbai terror attacks, 26/11, a black day in history of India. Followed by these terror attacks, the entire country was shook as to what had happened and to what extent the terrorists could destroy us. So after this, we thought there is an urgent need of an agency like this, which will be the main federal agency for investing terrorism and all the issues that are related to that. Let it be, then even Naxalism is covered here, left-wing extremism will also be covered here. The NIA headquarters are at New Delhi, and the branches are at Hyderabad, Guwahati, Kochi, Lucknow, Mumbai, Kolkata, Raipur, and Jammu. So it is the main central agency for investigation of all such offences. It mainly deals with terror-related crimes. In certain situations, they can issue certain actions, they can issue certain directions without anybody's permission, especially without the state's permission. Also, a new TFFC cell has also been discovered under NIA. What is that? It is a terror funding and fake currency cell. Now, what happens is terrorism itself is a problem, but funding this terrorism, if the terrorists don't have money, they do not get the funding. So, obviously, the terrorism steps will be on a back foot. That's why TFFC has been formed. Also, there is a left-wing extremism, LWE cell, that deals with the Naxal groups throughout the country. So this is NIA. Now, we will be talking about UNLF, the ones who have filed the petition. Okay, so this was formed in 1964. It is one of the 7 Meti extremist organizations. It was banned by the Union government. Okay, it operates in the areas of Manipur and some villages in Kuki-Zomai hill districts. It mostly operates from camps and training bases in Myanmar's region, Chin state, Rakhine state, and it has the support of the Myanmar military up to a certain extent. In India, their operations have reduced considerably because it's a banned organization, and in case of banned organization, the Indian army goes strong against them, so their actions have reduced considerably, hence they do take Myanmar's assistance. Now, also, the government of India and government of Manipur, it signed a peace agreement with the UNLF. Let's just end the hostilities and let's just stay in peace, because there were more than many people were dying on both the sides, UNLF as well as the government side, and this has been going on since more than half a century. So now let's just stop it and let's go ahead with the development projects and the welfare of the entire community. This is what an agreement, a peace accord was signed. Also, a PMC was set up which constituted to oversee if this agreement is properly implemented on the ground. This is the first time that a Manipuri armed organization has agreed to a peace agreement with the government. This was the first time. So yes, because when NIA had certain investigations going on and they did allege the 3 leaders, saying that they are still involved in some or other kind of terror-related crimes. They arrested them, against which a petition was filed by the UNLF in Delhi High Court, which is accepted right now. So let's see what happens further. Next, we will be talking about the most important topic of today, that is West Asia. Okay, so this is the most important topic for the day. The entire newspaper, you will see West Asia everywhere. It's scattered today, and this thing has been going on since a long time now. We are even going to see a summarized way of what exactly happened from day one till now in like 2 slides itself. So this is going to be very important. Now first I'll tell you all about what exactly happened. So Iran's October 1 ballistic missile attack on Israel. So Iran attacked Israel when? On 1st of October. After this, there was a serious escalation in a multi-party conflict in West Asia. The attack, because Iran had a lot of pressure from many of its allies saying that it's high time that you should respond to what Israel has been doing repeatedly. And so that's why this time Iran did not step back, and Iran had a huge missile attack on Israel. Okay, now Israel is kind of going ahead with the war, because it is not only attacking over Gaza, but we also read about the news of Hezbollah. We have covered this Hezbollah news in the last week of the Hindu analysis. Also, right now, none of the parties are ready to take a step back. None of them are compromising. Israel has a great power. They have a good military power. But this does not stop Hamas from launching the 7th October 2023 attack. Also, what has made the situation worst is the US President Joe Biden. He is not taking enough or required action, and he has given Israel a free hand. It is believed that Israel and USA are old friends. So people are not really happy with the way US is dealing with this situation. Also, in US itself, there are chances of a regional blown war. So Mr. Joe Biden is busy handling those issues. A full-blown war would be catastrophic. If something like this happens, every single country will get involved, every single region will get involved, and this could lead to, in extreme situations, it could lead to a world war. So everybody wants to avoid that. That is why these outcomes should be treated with immediate priority. We have to find a solution. We have to come on common grounds, and especially US, countries like US who have great power, they should interfere. They have a good leverage over Israel. They have good influence. And if we talk about China, it has great influence in Tehran. So they should convince the parties. Also, West Asia, at this point, we do need nothing but diplomatic intervention so that this entire violent streak and row can be broken. So this is what is in the news. Also, China, it has urged everybody, the world powers, especially on Wednesday, that the situation in West Asia is going down. And because of so much escalation, Israel has vowed to make Iran pay for firing a barrage of missiles at its territory. So when Iran gave this ballistic attack, again in return, Israel has promised them or warned them that you will have to pay for this. So now this is going to get more serious and complicated. Of course, China doesn't want that. Not only China, even the Indian External Affairs, we have also showed our concern that the situation is escalating, and Iran firing hundreds of missiles that hit targets around Israel capital. We are not really happy with that, and this regional conflicts needs to come to a full stop, because if this conflict gets out of hand, the entire country or the entire world is going to be divided in 2 halves maybe, or 3 halves maybe. And right now, none of the countries can afford this. So that is the reason this needs to come on a standstill, because it has just been escalating, and this war has been going on since a long time now. Now let's see, when did Iran get into this, okay, and why did Iran get into this? Let's see the backdrop. Now this slide and next slide. Please just click screenshots of these two slides, just save it or write it down, take the notes, however. But these slides are very important. These are going to give you brief about what has happened throughout. So you are not going to get such collective notes at the same place into slides in short, okay? So please just note this down. So सबसे पहले what had happened? The first thing, when Iran was angry, withdrawal from Iran's nuclear deal in 2018, the US withdrew from Iran's nuclear deal. After which Israel was very happy with US and they congratulated them that it's a good thing what you did. They also called this a historic move. We had Donald Trump at that time. So obviously Iran was frustrated. Second, assassination of Iran's army general. When General Soleimani, he was Iran's army general in 2020. When he was assassinated, when he was killed, the commander of the overseas arms of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, how was he killed? In an American drone strike in Baghdad. After that, Israel welcomed the assassination. They were happy. They celebrated the assassination. After which, Iran did strike back with missile attacks housing the American troops. But anyways, they were angry with Israel that Israel is responding well to such negative events. Next, what happened was Israel raids and attacked the medical facilities. Now in November 2023, if you're seeing the dates, I'm telling you right from the beginning what happened. Israel started conducting raids and attacking medical facilities where Hamas, okay, it was reportedly operating from these buildings and carrying out their warfare. Houthi group's Red Sea incident. This is the next point. Now, what happened in Houthi group? This was again in November 2023. These are two different incidents. The first one is when Israel attacked Hamas. Okay. After this, Houthi group Red Sea. Iran backed Houthi group. Iran has control over this area. It launched their helicopter on the Galaxy Leader cargo vessel as it was passing via Red Sea. Now, this marked the start of the Red Sea crisis. Now, what exactly Iran did? They blocked. This is a route which we are talking about. It is a route, the supply chain. Various US Navy vessels, ships, they go across this route. So, Iran, because of all these events that were happening, Iran stopped this. Again, which created a drift between all the parties. Next, what happened was, in December, Israel's okay, in December, Israel's ground offenses in Gaza Strip intensified. Why? Because the death toll and number of refugees had increased. So India obviously at that time also had given a warning. Next, what had happened was there was an airstrike on Iranian embassy, and it was suspected that the Israel is responsible for this airstrike. After which, Iran's missile attack on Israel in April 2024. Now we come to the current year. Iran launched a missile attack on Israel because of whatever has been happening here. And this attack, because they had suspected that our embassy was attacked by Israel, they launched this attack. This was the first time that Iran ever targeted Israel directly. Next is multi-layer air defense. The Israel Defense Forces claimed that the Israel air defense system intercepted 99% of the incoming projectiles from Iran. So these are the few reasons at the backdrop that why Iran and Israel have been fighting continuously, and now this is getting violent. Next, we will be talking about include people with disabilities in ABPM-JAY scheme. Now, what is this? The National Disability Network. It's a cohort of organizations that deals with people, that has people with disabilities. They have approached the central government. That our famous Yojana, flagship Yojana, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, that's a health insurance scheme. This should include very poor and inaccessible people, because the private insurance will not cover all these, okay? So they want that the healthcare expenses that are pushing individuals with disabilities into heavy debts and poverty. This should be avoided. Also, there is a lack of awareness amongst people about these entire schemes. So even this should be spread amongst everyone. So this is what about the news. Now we'll talk about what is PMJAY Yojana. As I said, it is a flagship scheme. What is it? It is a health coverage. Okay, it's an insurance. Health cover of 5 lakh per family. We get an Ayushman card which has 5 lakh per family health cover for secondary and tertiary. Now, what is secondary and tertiary? Secondary and tertiary hospitalization means the complicated ones like cancer and heart problems, heart surgeries. So approx bottom 40% of Indian population should get this. 55 CR beneficiaries approximately. So I have written here which all issues will be covered. It's a centrally sponsored scheme. So the funding will be 60-40 for most, 90-10 for northern states, and 10-100-0 for union territories with a legislature. It has more than 27,000 empaneled hospitals, half of which are private hospitals. Also, it has Pradhan Mantri Arogya Mitras that spread awareness amongst people. It will also help in achieving the sustainable goal which the entire world is trying to achieve, that is universal health coverage by 2030. And the last topic for the day, Modi says toilet coverage reached 100% after launch of Swachh Bharat mission. So our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on Wednesday said that 12 CR toilets have been built, which is 100%. Previously it was 40%. Okay. When was the Swachh Bharat mission launched, guys? 10 years ago on the occasion of Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. Now, addressing an event to mark the completion of 10 years, Mr. Modi said that 60% of India's population was compelled to defecate in open because there were no toilets. It was also against human dignity. It was disrespectful towards the country's poor, the Dalits, the backward communities, and especially it affected the health and safety of women. Open defecation, that is doing it in public. So because of lack of toilets. Now, because it was launched on October 2014, we've successfully completed 10 years. And our aim was to make the country open defecation free. Now, why was it declared on 2nd October? As I said, Mahatma Gandhi ji, he always believed that the society should be healthy. Keeping this in mind, we have urged this scheme. Now it covers rural and urban areas. Urban is done by Ministry of Housing and rural is done by Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. These are the things that the program includes. Open defecation, there should be washrooms, unsanitary toilets to pour flush toilets, eradication of manual scavenging. When manually people remove the dirt, we need to eradicate that. Then the municipal waste needs to be managed. There should be a behavioral change when it comes to sanitation issues. So this was all about today's analysis. So as I said, the most important of all being the West Asia issue, which will be going on for a long time and it will be in the news, I think, almost every day now. So yes, that's it, guys. We'll stop for the day. But before we end, I wish you all a very happy first day of the beautiful festival of Navratri. Thank you so much.